Well, this is the sort of interesting thing. When you asked, am I surprised that they booed him? I am and I am, but it does really expose the fault lines in football fandom and their supposed adulation of these players, which the media really romanticizes, and especially when it comes to Liverpool. So the relationship with Trent is now, through the prism of the weekend, completely transactional, completely circumstantial. It hangs by a thread at all times. There's no actual loyalty. There's no actual affection. They have just flushed his career and his relationship with the club down the toilet. Didn't actually mean all that much to them, it turned out. You mentioned the Gerrard example. Like the reaction to that, which was insane, really. Like people burning effigies and, outside his house and all this kind of stuff. Like it does personify why footballers just look out for themselves. Oh, do it for the fans, do it for the clubs. Do it on precisely our terms, or else it will flip on a dime into like vitriol. So, is Alexander Arnold going to be upset the way Michael Owen is? Yeah, he probably will, because it's not nice. In some respects, imagine Trent, and this would never happen, and this is probably going a step too far. I don't actually expect the Liverpool fans to have done this, but imagine when he had come on Sunday, the place had erupted. He would have probably jogged onto the pitch thinking, oh my God, I'm leaving this. This is like real. I'm going to go to that mob in Madrid who'll start waving hankies when we lose our first 2 games in the league. I'm leaving something that's actually special. So in a way, their reaction, the fans' reaction showed it's not really special. It's the same as any other group of fans. It's on their terms only. The loyalty's not real. The adulation's not real. It's petulant, actually, and superficial. And so they sort of exposed themselves a little bit there. And the way Carragher goes on, I know he's homegrown. Like if you really felt pride in your homegrown players, I know it's bad he's leaving, I get it. But would any part of you accept Real Madrid are sort of a special case? They are kind of the biggest club in the world. Not many homegrown Liverpool players have starred for Real Madrid. Could you at least understand, that's kind of a certain place to go. That's not a 2 fingers to us. He hasn't gone to Old Trafford, is my point. I just thought it exposed that the kind of the fakery of the fan-player relationship, which we do romanticize for what it is, which is completely superficial and just at all times hanging by a thread.
That's why I asked, are you surprised? Because I'm not surprised when fans turn on players, because it is transactional. It is, unless you're benefiting my team who I support, I don't care. I don't really care about you, really. And I do agree with you on the Madrid point, because Gerrard was going to be joining Chelsea, who at the time were big rivals. The Mourinho Benitez thing, that was maybe more understandable, I guess, to flip out over that. Yeah. Whereas they're going a team in a different league, the biggest club in the world, technically, if you, I don't know, in terms of most prestige or however you can quantify that, it does seem more removed. So
is it the fee? Like if he was going for 60, 70, 80, 90 million with 18 months or 2 years left in his contract, would it be, or is that acceptable?
8 million in Nunes, which Ronan seems to think was a king's ransom.
Not bad. Better than nothing.
Why are Liverpool fans sweating the finances?
I actually think the fee is a buffer for
FSG.
Yeah, they would have felt the same. They're just using the fee as a buffer for how they're reacting. Like if it was 50 million, I think he would have got booed anyway.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is it just the homegrown nature of it? Like, is that because
that's the way? But the way Carragher talks about it, like homegrown, you're like trapped. You're like you're a little bird in a cage. You know what I mean? Because even Carragher was saying in Sky afterwards that he was offered a 1-year contract extension at Liverpool, and he said his quote was, I jotted it down because the word he used was interesting. He said, if it was Villa or Newcastle or Spurs, I would have signed another year. Because he said I wasn't good enough. Like my pace was gone. I was making mistakes. But he said if it was Newcastle, Spurs, Villa, I'd have signed it. I'd have looked after myself. He said with Liverpool, I didn't want to anger the fans. Anger or upset the fans. That was an interesting word.
Yeah.
So I think the Gerrard thing, the homegrown players are in a weird spot there.